What's up, guys? It's Brian from Hashware Hub. It's about 8:34 p.m. Eastern Time, February 26, 2018. Coming to you with a trading video on Bitcoin, kind of an evening update here. But first, if you're not familiar with us, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because we get a lot of cool information, a lot of great information, I think, a lot of technical analysis on the crypto markets. And on top of it, we also have giveaways. First one was last weekend, and the next one will probably be this weekend too. So definitely hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, like our videos. We are very appreciative of all those actions, as well as what's going on Steam and DTube for us. You guys as well have been really great to us, and we're looking to obviously build out there too. So if you're on YouTube and you're interested in Steam and DTube, the links are down below. Also, if you're interested in our Facebook trading team, the link is down below too. So enough with the salesmanshipness or the salesmanship. So let's get kind of right into it here on Bitcoin. So where we left off last, I think we were right about here, and yeah, I think we were like right about here, and we were saying that there's probably going to be a little bit, at least on a 1 hour basis, there probably is going to be a little bit of a turnover, possibly a little bit of a correction. A ton of bullishness coming into this market, so that correction was very, very, very small, but there was obviously something there. You know, we're coming out of this downward facing triangle. We came out of it pretty I mean, this is pretty much getting shot straight out of a cannon, basically straight up. It doesn't go much more straight up than this. So, you know, there's kind of an old saying, I forgot exactly how it goes, but as fast as things can go up, they can also come down just as fast, if not much faster. So we are still very, very wary of everything, and you should be too. So I see a ton of headlines. You know, for the few minutes I do spend on some social media and also YouTube, I see a lot of headlines of super bullishness. We're really not. I'm actually thinking things are going to fall off right here, and I'm going to get to that. But I want to say it before it actually comes down. When I was starting to look at the charts, everything, you know, this candle almost wasn't really even here, you know, when I started looking at the charts earlier this evening. So and I said I need to make a video quick before it starts falling off, and that's exactly what it's doing right now. So so yes, we're coming out of this whole thing. I think this whole thing is done. What we're doing now is I'm looking at this as a 1, a 2, a 3, and I think we're gonna have a 4, and then we're gonna have a 5. The fifth wave can be super extended. The fifth wave could be very, very extended. I mean, all the waves could be extended, but more times than not, the fifth wave is usually extended, fifth or the third. So so really, okay, so RSI, this again on a 1 hour basis, RSI kind of made these tops. I think when we were here, we were like right here, basically right at this top. And it stayed here for some time, and also you see that also on the Laguerre as well. Laguerre has just turned down, and so has the regular RSI too. On a 1 hour basis, we are looking for a bit of a correction, which is really this fourth wave, and you know, we are thinking that things are going to come down on a 1 hour basis. But where are we looking for things to stop? That's really the big thing. So where we're looking for things to stop is about 10,160. Okay, that's where we think there's some support in the market on a 1 hour basis. All right, so how can you use this? So these numbers here, you know, are like hidden support levels, and these numbers, these levels here, we look at that not only support, and obviously there'll be resistance too, and we'll tell you that there, and that's, you know, on the downside, as far as that's the way these lines go, and they can be used not only for potential places of support, but they can also be used for potential places to indicate when the trend is changing. If there's a significant breach below it and it continues on a bit, we normally think that there's some sort of significant breach with regards to that level, and that at least on a 1 hour basis that the market is probably going to continue down for a little bit. So it can also be used as a potential place to place stops. That is another way in which we use it as well. And you can see, kind of where it is right now. Okay, you can see where it is right now, and you could see how it fits kind of this run up. All right. Now, this all depends on, I'm not trying to say place your stops here, because this is all dependent on everyone's risk tolerance. So your stops could be higher, it could be lower, it could be all over the place. That's up to you. So that's what we see what's going on a 1 hour basis. Looking for that fourth coming down here. As far as candles are concerned, the way I would look at this candles is super bearish, and that's why it's not super bearish. It's indicating that the market may have a bit of a correction here. Now, let's not forget, there's a ton of money coming into this right now. There's a lot of bullishness, a lot of new money coming into this thing. So we could see that that little kind of sell-off we were supposed to have happen here, which I thought it would probably get to here. Okay, it only got to here. All right, so it didn't really come to too much of fruition, although it did. I mean, we actually shorted this and made a bit. So it's obviously something there to be done. So here, looks like it's going to fall off a little bit more than what had happened here. For a candle basis, what I was starting to get into is, you can see here, especially right here, right? This green candle. This green candle tells me a lot. Okay, it's trying to, the body of it is smaller than the red candle before it, but it's also trying to get up, right? It's trying to move up above the open of the previous red candle. And it wasn't able to do that. The bulls ran it up. You could see this by the wick that came up, and then it got smacked right back down. All right, and now you see the capitulation where people are now starting to take some profits. And if you looked at some level two prices, you probably would see a fair amount of price walls on the ask side, on the offer side. So here, we were also seeing a little bit of the same thing, but not to the same extent. This is much more bearish than this is. All right, much more bearish than this is. All right, so that's what's going on a 1 hour basis. Let's go ahead and see what's going on a 4 hour basis. And here we are. So on a 4 hour basis, we are thinking possibly that that the market on a 4 hour basis may also come down a bit, and the support level that we have for a 4 hour basis is at the 10,000 level, literally right here. Okay, and maybe I'll just write that right here. 4 hour. Basis right here. So, yeah, there's not really much to say here as far as 4 hour basis, other than the fact that you can see this channel, right? This channel that we had drawn some time ago. I'm going to actually extend it right now, trying to keep it as close as it had been before, right? And you can see it barely kind of peaked above it, and now it looks like it's coming back down. The Laguerre RSI happened to obviously move up, and now it crossed to oversold territory, overbought territory, and now possibly it may turn down. We're not sure. We got to wait for the candle to terminate, and it may take a few candles for it to turn down, if it does turn down. You can even see right here, look at all the volume came in on a 4 hour basis. Look at all this volume that came in on a 4 hour basis, and it wasn't able to really move this like much higher. Okay, so this is showing me that the bulls are getting a bit tired, right? And now with this is on light volume, but it looks like it's falling off on some pretty light volume. There's still 2 hours and 15 minutes left. 2 hours and 15 minutes left on this candle, but even still, you know, so I mean, there's still a lot left to do. There's an hour and 45 minutes left on it, which is, you know, obviously, you know, almost half of the candle. So there's still a lot left to do. I'm sorry, an hour and 45 minutes has transpired. There's 2 hours and 15 minutes that's left. So over half that has transpired. So you can see here the market is coming down. Let's see if it hits out 10,160 on a 1 hour basis. Could that possibly happen on the video? Let's see. I don't know. So anyways, yeah, I think so. You see this is turning down here. This is the regular RSI. This is the Laguerre RSI. So obviously things are turning down. On a daily basis, we still think the general trend is going to be up. And the general trend to be up, but we now are looking possibly, so before we had this 9,400 level, right here, which was kind of these bottoms right here. And this was, again, guys, this is drawn like well before these bottoms. Okay, well before these bottoms. We had mentioned it. So now we think that's moved up a bit, but ever so slightly. So I'm thinking the daily is now 9,440. I know, why even change it? I don't know. Maybe it's my OCD. So not really much of a difference, but again, this type of level, this level tells us, you know, possibly when things may change for a daily basis. In other words, where if you're trading on a daily basis, that is a chart that you're mainly using, then this would be a potential support level. This would be a potential, you know, area where you would place some stops, you know, around this level. You know, it's also a place where possibly you can get into some low risk entry trades too if the market comes down and kind of kisses it like it did here. Let's look on this actually on a daily basis to show you guys a bit more. Okay. Yeah, so on a daily basis, remember we moved this up to 9,440, but originally it was about 9,400. So you can see how the market came down and basically kissed this line a few different times. The wicks did, and then it moved up. So that's, again, this is basically as good as you ever get with regards to kind of calling intermediate, bottoms and support levels and stuff like that. Calling tops is a whole different art. I haven't even gotten into that with you guys. We've gotten into it a little bit with regards to the Laguerre RSI in combination with RSI. That's kind of what you guys are doing. You may not realize it if you're using the Laguerre RSI. You're using things. You're looking at things on a cyclicality basis, on a cyclical basis. So you may not realize that's what you're doing, but that's actually what you're doing. So yeah, I think we're going to leave it there for right now. I don't think there's anything too material as of right now really to speak about. Just trying to think. Nope, nothing just yet. We want to see how this whole thing plays out. Obviously, there's some resistance right here from this previous top. All right, this is let's call this about 10,473. That's kind of an obvious thing right here from this previous top right here. So the market tried to run up and meet that. Oh, another thing I want to show you is this. What's an analysis without Fibonacci, right? Oh, come on. So I'm kind of calling this as the bottom. Sorry, as the beginning of the 1, 2. This also could be the beginning of 1. I don't know. I just like this one better. It's probably wrong. It's probably really this one. Not probably. It is. So yeah. So we could see that the market had gone ahead and ran well past the 1. In other words, you know, for the third wave, you want to at least see it eclipse 1, right? In other words, just basically the same size as the first wave, and it well went past 1.618. Went well past it, but you see where it stopped in the beginning. Okay, very cool thing to see. You see where it stopped in the beginning. I mean, look at these bodies, right? Look at the bodies of these candles. Only the wicks made it up above it. And then it took some time for the market to actually get above that 1.618, which is about 10,252. Right? I don't think there's anything super significant about that number. Wow, look at this right here before our eyes, guys. 10,153 is where we're at. Remember I said 10,160. Let's see if this line holds, but we will be ending this video before before that. So don't get nervous. We're not going to go for another 9 minutes and 29 seconds. So yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow morning. With that said, have a great night, guys. Happy trading, and speak to you soon. Thanks.